guys.
Hello, what's going on, people?
Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back to our channel.
As you probably know from the title of this video, we've got some really important
exciting
and exciting news to share.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we just bought our second property.
Yes.
Our family home.
Yes. Because things might change, but yeah, it should be the one.
Exactly.
So, what inspired us? 2020 started.
It's been a mad year.
Yeah, but before we didn't know it was going to be crazy. From like last year, 2019, we had it all set up. Like 2020, we're going to buy a new property.
Our precise plan was by March 2020, we're going to start looking.
Yeah.
And when did lockdown start?
March 2020.
So literally when we were ready to start looking, boom, lockdown began.
It was quite sad because of course we had a holiday planned. So we actually, had it in mind to go on holiday, come back, and then really get into it.
Yeah.
And then when that happened, holiday was cancelled. So it was just like a stab to the heart because we were literally looking for. You guys know how much we love our holidays. Like,
exactly.
Come on.
Because the funny thing about it, we were looking forward to that one holiday because prior to that, we've been working so hard, as you can imagine.
The lockdown began and everything was shut. So it was like you couldn't go on viewings. You couldn't get in contact with a lot of people because everybody. This is the first time like nobody was working from home in the first place, so you kind of had no contact with anything. So it took a while for us to actually get into the midst of things because you began just like sorting out paperwork. So do you want to talk about that? Like how?
I mean, at the beginning, when lockdown began, of course, I realised that I had time to get all my paperwork in order. So immediately I started, digging back and getting paperwork and just doing enough research so that when I do approach a broker, I can essentially come with all of my findings. So what I did was I got, our passports, our utility bills, pay slips,
proof of employment,
and all of those things, bank statements, every single thing, we had, ready to go basically. And what I did also was try to find a few mortgage brokers because with mortgage brokers they often get deals that we as normal people we're not we don't have access to in a sense. And I literally began the process from early. We was just like know what,
literally April we just started.
Mind you, lockdown was for 3 months. So for all those 3 months that we were stuck at home, almost every single day I was on the phone with a broker. Yeah,
he would literally sit down in that dining room from early in the morning and just have all paperwork surrounding him, 2 laptops set up, open, 2 phones there, and you're just there talking to different brokers, talking to, mortgage advisors,
I had an entire office set up.
He literally had an office set up.
Literally.
So I'll just be upstairs doing my workout, and by the time I come downstairs, everything's just, he's just at work, basically.
Literally.
You did that for like a month or so? How long would you say?
No, I've done it for over a month. Because there were times that I'll do it and then the government would then announce a new stricter lockdown or an ease of the lockdown, and I'll then leave it for perhaps another few weeks and then return back to the research and touch base with the mortgage broker I was working with, and just go on from there really. So it was very tough, man. Mentally it was annoying because we had everything ready to go but we could not move anywhere.
We could not do anything. We could not go to viewings. And when the lockdown eased a little bit and we could go to viewings, it was a thing where initially they were not doing view it like in person. You had to watch the video and
of course with us we were quite skeptical with videos, weren't we?
Because you need to see what you're going to potentially buy. You can't just go off the video. So we really wanted to get in and see the properties, but in order to see them you had to have like your mortgage, you had to get your agreement in principle. And it was just a lot.
You had to get an agreement in principle, and some people were being a bit funny. Some of them were asking me for even a proof of deposit.
The thing was, usually the agreement principle would come really quickly, but because of the lockdown, banks were moving slowly. So something that should have taken maybe like a week or a few days, it was taking weeks. So
it was depressing.
It was really bad because there was one particular property we were interested in, and we had to see it in person. But again, like you said, the agents were being very, very like difficult in terms of we needed to get the agreement in principle ready, and they wanted proof of deposit, which of course we had the proof of deposit, but agreement in principle was taking a little longer than we expected, so we could not view it. And then we were thinking, okay, someone's gonna put an offer and it's gonna go, and that's us losing our opportunity. So you decided to do something that...
No, it was crazy. What I decided, I just said, you know what, forget this. I'm not going to be sat at home doing nothing. I'll take matters into my own hands. So I came up with an idea. We wrote a letter, and we actually taken all COVID measures in place, wearing a mask, wearing gloves, sanitizing our hands and stuff like that.
Knocked on the door.
Social distancing. We went to the property, we knocked on the door, and we handed, the vendor, we handed them the letter so that they can read. And what did the letter say?
It basically just said, look, we're interested in your property and we would like to do a viewing. However, we have been unable to come for a viewing because we're still waiting for our agreement in principle.
Due to COVID.
So, not saying, don't accept our offers, but we are interested in, so it just basically made them realise that there are more people who may want to put in an offer, and therefore they shouldn't just go for whatever offer they've already received.
Yeah, eventually we did view the property, and after viewing the property, we did not see it to... Well, the asking price was... We weren't willing to pay that, were we?
After viewing the property, our thoughts changed, because as you know, with pictures, with videos, things can be placed in a certain way
with the right light.
Exactly.
You can
avoid certain things, but when you go in person, you see everything. And the house really needed a lot of work, and it needed way too much work to the point where we would not be able to live in it.
We weren't really put off the work that needed to be done. However, the value of the works that needed to be done, it just made no sense. You know what I mean? It's like we just would not make that money back easily because of the asking price. So we were asking them to reduce the asking price, so therefore we can actually have that bit of a cushion and we're not losing too much money. They weren't willing to do that.
So we just forgot about it. We let it go. We weren't trying to... We had a cut-off point.
We had a cut-off point. We had loads of criteria we would not compromise.
And so a few weeks went by, and literally we were checking on Zoopla, on Rightmove, every single day. 3-4 times a day. We're looking we had alerts, but even with the alerts, I'm still refreshing. I'm still checking in case the email didn't come through of a new property. So we're literally refreshing it constantly, and it just felt as though new houses were coming up. A lot of houses were coming up, but it was either one thing or another thing, and it just didn't meet our criteria. So it was maybe bathroom downstairs. Damn it, we can't go for it. Kitchen was way too small. We can't.
Or it never had the potential to extend.
Or you can't extend. Or it's on a hill. Or no driveway. In the end, another property came on the market.
I remember telling you, I was like, babes, there's a new property on the market, but this one is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And you literally left your workout. You ran downstairs to where I was working at.
I looked at it. I was a bit like, it's nice, but it's a bit above our budget, to be honest with you. So I sort of didn't entertain it.
Funny thing is, I think with you were like quite important, and you was very specific on the budget. But with me, I always knew, I had it in mind that the budget is not, or the asking price is not always, it's not the end of the budget. So I'm not frightened if something is advertising for, £25,000, £40,000 above what our budget is. Like, I would still try. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? There were two that caught our attention.
And the thing is, we were quick.
Very,
so the moment you saw
very quick.
The moment we saw it pop up, we're like, boom, we
need to
view it. But we were one of the first people to view it. So the moment it came up, we were like, you were quick.
Proper.
We need to view this property. Like, if he didn't get through to the agent, we'll write an email
or call them.
So it was just like a thing where we were not wasting any time whatsoever.
At all.
So the day came when we went to view it, and we had 2 scheduled that day. Remember? Yeah. So we first viewed the property and
the one that we
purchased.
Yeah.
So we liked it.
What was your first reaction when you saw
it? It was the same as when we came to view this house. I was just like, Corey, we can't afford this. This is nice. This is like, whoa. This is a lot. This is a lot. I kept on saying this is a lot.
I know. You were just zoned out, and you were just saying things that you weren't even processing yourself.
And the thing is, when we were there with the agent, I was trying not to say a lot because
I know.
You don't want to be like, oh my God, it's a beautiful house. And
I didn't, because for me, I know I'll be the one negotiating. Yeah. So I don't want you to say things like, I want this house. Yeah. Things like, I want this house, or I love this house, or, oh, this is really nice, Corey. I don't want any of that, because that's what they're going to use against me when I try to tell them.
Like, they really want it. So
exactly.
You're going to get what you want for it. So,
exactly, literally.
So I just kept my mouth shut, and I was just like,
And I was just trying to get like more detailed questions, like when was the house built, and I didn't care when all of those things. I knew I liked the house, but I was just trying to like throw them off so that they, so they're not entirely sure if I want it or I don't want it.
Keep them on their toes.
Yeah, just to keep them on their toes.
And then when we got in the car, I was like, this house is beautiful. I was just like, this house is amazing.
You just exploded right there.
Oh my goodness. I was just like, mate, I don't even know what we're going to put for an offer, but it has to be a good offer. So we had to schedule that day. In actual fact, looking at the pictures online, the second house looked a lot better than the first house.
But I did have my concerns in terms of how it was actually structured.
Yeah. So what I would say is, aesthetically, like decor-wise, it had better decor, so it would attract you from the pictures.
However, the floor plan...
I remember when we went in there and we saw it, we were like,
the floor plan
obviously,
wasn't one.
The photographer who took their pictures did a very good job, because he made the rooms look bigger than they were.
Yeah.
So going into the property, the kitchen was so small, and certain rooms were just not going to work for us, and it was just a thing where we were wondering, why is this house going for a higher price than the previous house? And we were like, we obviously showed that we weren't that interested in it, and the agent there asked us, okay, what's our thoughts on the house? Would we put in an offer? And if we were to put in an offer, where would we sort of put it?
And I didn't answer that. I sort of got from her, when she asked me that question, what sort of offer, I sort of like reversed it back on her to kind of like understand how much was offered already. What offer do you have? So what am I competing against at the moment? And then she said what we were competing against, which was about £15,000 over the previous property that we'd seen.
Yeah, I mean, from there we were just like,
and then immediately we were like, nah, that's not happening.
We left and we knew that the first house we'd viewed was the one. Yeah. Instantly we knew it was the one. It was like I said, it was like viewing this one again, this current one that we're in. The moment we left, we knew, that's the one for us. And we'll
put in an offer. We were quite calm about it. I don't know why, but we were just quite calm about the offer. And then I received the phone call, and the estate agent...
Was it the next day?
It was the next day. I received the phone call the next day, and the estate agent said to me, right, okay, so he's very interested in you, okay? Because you guys are not in a hurry, so you have time. This is exactly what it says to me. You guys are in a hurry. You have your place that you're currently at the moment, so you don't have the pressure of someone kicking you out because you own it. So he's very interested in it. However, the figure that you've said or you've given, he wants more than that. And I was like, I knew what we were willing to put in, and in actual fact, we were actually willing to put in between 15 to 20. We had a budget that we could actually go over by 15 to 20. However, when he told me that he was already interested in the offer or in us, I knew immediately. I knew immediately there is no need for us to go as extreme as we were prepared to go. So long story short, I sort of played that. Oh no, look, the missus is gonna kill me for this one, but
I had nothing to do with it. I was asleep.
Listen to me, right? Okay, the missus is gonna kill me for this one, but I'll tell you what I could do. And I literally went up by a silly amount, like not even up to £2,000.
Yeah.
Not even up to £2,000. Like a dumb number, like 1,826, like a silly number that would just throw someone off. A weird figure. Wow. So they'll sort of get an impression that, okay, maybe this guy can only stretch by £2,000 and he's trying to save himself about 100 and something quid. So I put the offer, and not long afterwards.
Was it the same day?
It was the same day. No, it wasn't the same day. He said to me, okay, just bear with me 1 second. He's going to speak to his wife, was what he said to me.
Yeah. And
then the following day, he then rang me. You were still working out the next day. It's like, he always rings me whenever Susan's working out.
I was there literally holding my plank, my Chloe Ting plank. I remember, I cannot forget, I was there like planking.
I remember at the landing where. And then I got the phone call, was like, okay, congratulations, he's accepted your offer. And I was like, well, thank you. And then, I told you, I was like, I just like,
Corey told me, and I was like, I'm not going to drop this plank. I'm so happy, I'm so happy, but I need to finish this plank. And then the moment it was done, I was just like, yes! I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I thought he was lying. I was just like, are you actually serious? Like, how did they even accept that? Because what's going on? It was just too much questions.
But after the offer was accepted, that's when the nightmare began.
Yeah.
The nightmare began.
It got a bit
sticky.
hairy.
a bit of a sticky one still.
It became sticky for sure.
Oh, goodness me.
So the honeymoon period lasted about a week or so.
Bear in mind at this time there's a pandemic going on, and I'll be honest with you guys, because I don't want anybody to watch this and think, oh, we have it great and stuff like that. Oh, so during the pandemic, I myself, during this period of time, I was furloughed from work. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, and as you know, I work in so I had no work, so I was not getting
paid. For how long?
For 3 months.
And then after the 3 months, it still took a while until you were able to be back on your feet.
I mean, after 3 months, no work, literally at home, just trying to be busy. I had no idea when I was going to go back to work because nobody knew, and it was a thing where when eventually things started to open up again, I was literally working 1 day a week.
Exactly. So
for like a whole month, just 1 day.
And as you can imagine, this might cause a bit of a problem to the lenders.
Yeah.
So I was a bit concerned. I'm on furlough. You're not working. How are we going to afford this property in a sense? Although we had, the deposit in place and all of those, other things in place, that concern was still there.
It was still there because at the end of the day, being self-employed, everyone says, oh, they're risky, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you know that, you haven't made as much as you should have, that is a big concern, because then it makes them feel like you're not reliable. How long is it going to go on for? So it is a lot of pressure to be able to prove to them.
Yeah, especially in this time.
Yeah, especially during the pandemic.
So I kept on going back and forth with the brokers, especially with this matter, this situation at hand, with the job and stuff like that. So long story short, we thought, of course, the current lenders who we are with were the ones still offering us a decent deal.
Yep.
And given the fact that we have an excellent relationship with them, because that's why I stress all the time, make overpayment on your mortgage. Make overpayment. The funniest thing is my broker said to me, if you guys get this mortgage, it will be a miracle.
That was his words.
His words was, he's not a religious person. If you guys get this mortgage, it will be a miracle. That was what he said the day before we got the mortgage.
And it took in total 5 weeks. After 2 weeks, or was it after 3 weeks?
After 3 weeks, we heard back from them.
We heard back from them. They wanted additional information, which we provided swiftly. Because the good thing about our broker, and the reason why we love our broker so much, is because he already knew from before we started our mortgage what they would want or what they would need.
Exactly.
So he already had it planned out. Boom, 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 boom. These are the things you probably need. And of course, if you can get them ready, get them ready. And so in the back of our minds, I'd already had in contact with my accountant that, look, you will need to do this for me.
Yeah.
And it was a thing where when it was needed, it was already done.
Exactly.
So 5 weeks after we got the offer. So
the miracle happened.
We're now in July. So mortgage offer done. House
let's
ready.
Let's go.
We're ready.
Let's
Easy
go.
peasy.
Literally.
And it's like, okay. A few days passed, and we're just like, what's going on now? Like,
so I contacted the agent. I told him, look, we're ready to go. We've got a mortgage approved. Let's go. And then he said to me, I'm sorry, Mr. Jack Paul. But the people who you're buying from, they are purchasing from somebody else who is on a probate. And then we was like, what?
What is that?
Why did you not tell us this from the beginning? And they were like, well, we only know now because they've only told us now. And for those of you who don't know, a probate is basically you're buying from somebody who is dead, right? So the person's family have to go to the courts to get that person's estate in order, pay his debts, and whatever is remaining, essentially split amongst each other and sell off, his assets and stuff like that. So that's what the person's family had to do and get, a probate granted.
And the thing about this probate, and the reason why it was such a nightmare to know about is that it could take anywhere from 3 months to 6 months to issue. And the worst thing, that's on normal circumstances. In a pandemic, it could even take longer.
In a pandemic, when people are dying and all of their estates need to be put in order, right? Now we're purchasing from somebody who is there, so there must be a backlog of probates.
Exactly. Even from before COVID happened, there was a backlog.
So how long did we wait in total for the probate?
We waited about 12 weeks, so 3 months.
Imagine that you've got a property that's been accepted already. Your mortgage is accepted, but you can't do nothing because you've got to just wait. Every week,
calling the agent.
I tortured them.
Have they got the probate?
Have they got the probate? Why would you allow us to be in this situation? Why would you do that?
It was just like
I gave them so much trouble, so much.
It was horrible. It was horrible because you're ready to go, and in your mind you're thinking it could fall through at any moment. You just don't know what's happening.
Very, very last minute. Very, very last minute. We then heard, boom, the probate has been granted.
This is in November.
Yeah, but bear in mind as well, these people that we bought from, we also took the approach where I went to the person's house and I also presented her a letter from us, just letting her know that we are the people buying your property. This is my telephone number. This is my email address. I would like to be in contact with you during the process of all of what's going on. That way, I have a clear, informed information from her and also from the estate agent and from my solicitor as well. That way, if anyone's lying to me, I can verify with all of my sources to sort of get a clearer picture as to where we are within the process of the purchase.
Yeah, and the thing is, I feel like it was such a good idea for you to do that because had Corey not done that, had he not got the details of the vendor and passed on his details, honestly speaking, we would have probably pulled out.
Yeah.
Because we were not really getting the information that we needed from the agents. Yeah. There'll be times where you call up the agent, they'll be like, okay, we'll get back to you tomorrow. We wouldn't hear from them. You just leave it with me. I'll send you an email. Nothing sent, and it's just like, what's going on? Like so many times, he got so annoyed.
And it was during that process as well. We learned that our solicitor was an idiot. Sorry, he was an idiot. Our solicitor was an idiot because I then told him, I instruct my solicitor who I'm paying. Okay, forward an email of request to their solicitor and ask this, and he was reluctant to do it. And I'm thinking, why am I paying you? I'm paying you to instruct you, but yet still.
You haven't even got to that part.
Do you get where I'm coming from?
There's more juice.
And when the probate was sorted, I then said, okay, you know what? Everything's good, We have our mortgage offer, probate is sorted. They've also made an offer for a property that has been accepted. We're good to go. Let's start it. And they then said to me, oh yeah, by the way, they haven't had their mortgage approved yet. That was when the different Corey came out. I was like, excuse me? What do you mean they haven't got their mortgage sorted? One thing that I have found within property, where they asked me a silly question about our application, like the money is not there. They asked me like,
okay, send proof of this.
Can you send proof of that? Can you do that? Can you do a stupid thing?
And it's just like.
And I'm like, what do you mean? So I had a very strong impression that they vetted me so much because they did not believe that we were credible buyers. So I was upset for that reason. So then I asked them, why did you not have the same energy towards them? Do you get where I'm coming from? They were literally just waffling. And it was one of those things like when someone waffles, you can just, they're waffling in your mind and you just let them waffle. I was like, no, I'm not having it. I caught them out in their waffles. I was like, no, right now you're just waffling because you just said to me, but this and that, and it doesn't add up. So why exactly is this the case? Why are we here? Came to the point, of course, they had to apologize. And, I was like so blunt to a point whereby I'm sick and at that point, imagine waiting 12 weeks for a probate only to realize that the people you're buying from don't even have their mortgage in place to buy somewhere else. So they can't vacate the property. And I said, well, I don't care. Tell them, are they ready to rent somewhere else? Are they ready to rent somewhere else? Because I need that property.
And of course, as you guys know, the stamp duty holiday came about in, June, July? So we were like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. We'd already made an offer before the stamp duty holiday came and it had been accepted. So when the stamp duty holiday came, we were like, oh my God, we're going to be saving so much money if this goes through before next year, March. Yeah. And another thing, so they got their probate early November, right? Our mortgage offer was expiring December 31st, 2020, because we got approved early July. So we have 1 month, or actually 2 months. We had 2 months at that point to close everything down. So then, back to the waiting again.
So we were waiting. And once again, every single week, I would ring them. I don't care how annoying it got.
Yeah.
I would ring them, following up on the progress of the application. I'm sorry, Mr. Jackpot. It's with this, it's with that.
And the thing is, with regards to the vendors, the situation was that they were going with a lender that they weren't not banking with. And therefore, that lender was taking so long, because when they told us that their mortgage hadn't been approved, it wasn't that they hadn't given them, they hadn't applied for it. They'd already applied for it, but it just was going through stages. So
it went through 4 stages.
4 underwriters.
4 stages of
the
underwriters.
4th underwriter, and they were like, okay, this is it. It's been with this lender for like about 12 weeks now. Any moment now, we're gonna get the offer. Like that's what the woman was texting him constantly, and I was just like, okay, all right. At that point, we were getting agitated, very agitated, because
I was stressed. I was so stressed.
Our mortgage offer was coming to an end, and once that ends, like the chances of us getting another one in time before the stamp duty holiday were extremely slim. We were not gonna make it.
No. We had to renew our one.
Yeah.
Or renew the offer.
Yeah.
However, because when we applied for our one, this is one of the annoying things, because it was still at a decent rate, at the interest rate at the time, and as time went on, with so much uncertainty about COVID and stuff, interest rate went high. So if we had to reapply again, our lenders said, "No, I'm sorry, we can't give you the same interest rate. You would have to change the deal that you got, which would lose us more money,
and would probably lose the stamp duty holiday, because
Exactly.
there's a backlog of mortgage applicants, and we'll be back to the end of the pile."
Yeah.
So, anywho, so they were still. The lender told them to bring in more information from the self-employed guy, and I think at that point they realized, okay, it's not going to happen. So guess what they did? They started a new application.
Okay.
A new mortgage application. We were just like, oh my Lord Jesus.
All this while, we were just waiting.
So in mid-November is when they said we need to start a new mortgage application. We were just like, are you guys, what is going on? Like, what is actually going on? Like, and the thing is, we were stuck. We were stuck because, God.
We were stuck because all this while, right? How long had it been at this point?
Well, since we
got the offer approved on the property.
How
many months had it been?
July, August, September, October, November, 5 months.
So for 5 months, every day, we would look through Rightmove.
Yes.
We would look through Zoopla.
Yeah.
There was no property anywhere near the caliber of this property that we got.
If it managed to be anywhere near, they were asking for like how much more?
They're at the point because at this time, supply or demand was higher than supply. So the property that we had got was people were actually putting an offer about between £30,000 to £40,000 over
a property like what we had.
Over a property. So essentially, if we had gone for our property at this time now, we would have been paying £40,000 over what we already got.
It was just ridiculous. It was just like nothing was coming up, and it was just like, oh my God, this is
so
is
we
crazy.
Can't jump ship.
We can't even leave and find something else, because we even wanted to do that. We're like, if a new one comes on, we're gonna leave. We're so angry. We're just gonna find something else, but nothing else was coming up, so we were literally stuck. So eventually, as I said, mid-November, they were like, we're gonna change lenders. We're gonna go with who we're actually lending with, which they should have done from the start. And then we were like, okay, no problem. And then luckily, because they're already with this lender, it took literally 3 weeks for their mortgage to be approved.
And at this time, we already had, because of course, remember, though our offer ends on the 31st of December, solicitors are only working up until the 21st of December.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you didn't even know this. Solicitors were only in office until the 21st because they need to leave an extra 2 days in case something goes wrong that they need to rectify in the office. Mm-hmm. Christmas is on the 24th, right?
25th.
Sorry, jeez. Christmas is on the 25th. Sorry. My numbers are all over the place right now. Don't worry. Christmas is on the 25th. So they needed, that
Thank God
period.
you didn't tell me that, because I would have been...
I couldn't tell you that. You were saying that.
I would have myself. So, anywho's, 3 weeks, their offer got accepted. So I was like, Corey, you need to let them know. You need to when they said, oh, we're going to do a new application with another lender, I said, Corey, let them know that our offer expires this December.
Yeah.
And if it's not sorted out, we're out. Like, what we're going to do is we're finished. So he let them know that, look, our offer is expiring.
But we didn't tell them exactly. We told them our offer
2 weeks before.
I told them was expiring on the 18th
of December.
and after then it's game over.
Yeah. So they were like, obviously, they must have been like, okay, we actually need to like get a move on and sort this out ASAP. So from then on, it was just like, everybody get on board. Solicitor, broker, bank, everybody, you guys got to start working. So we were there like doing paperwork, and then what was the situation with your name? Go on. So what's this guy?
No. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Basically, at the beginning of when our mortgage offer was approved, right? At the very beginning, I immediately realized that my middle name was spelt incorrectly. So I contacted my brokers and I informed them, right? And they then got back to me saying, oh, they have contacted the lenders and they said, it's fine, it's okay.
Because it was his middle name and not the surname.
Had it been the surname,
they would have to reissue another offer.
Exactly.
But because it's the middle name, it's fine.
It can be, because it's the middle name, all they required was for my solicitor to put the correct name on the title of deed, right? So once I had that information, I was okay. So now fast forward to December when we're about to exchange and close and everything. My solicitor now said, no, I'm not happy to move forward. I said, why? What do you mean? Because of your middle name. I was like, okay, no, that's not an issue. We've contacted the lenders. You can contact the lenders yourself, and they're fine with that.
So guess what he said?
Go ahead.
I'll write a letter.
No. I need that in writing.
No, but then we said, okay, contact them, call them up. At least if you call them up, they'll be able to issue you whatever in writing quicker. He's like, no, I'll send a letter.
He didn't send a letter.
He didn't send a letter.
He sent a fax.
Oh, yeah, okay.
In 2020, a fax.
Yeah, so he sent a fax, but we were just like, just call them up, sort of thing. But he refused to.
So this Mughal sent a fax, right? And I call him a Mughal, which is an idiot. I sent a fax, right? And to complicate the matters, right, he's now told them that, we need the correct spelling of my last name as opposed to my middle name. He's
telling them to correct his surname and he spelled it wrong.
So he's now telling them to correct something that was already correct with an incorrect spelling of my last name.
So then...
No, hold on.
Okay.
And this is why I urge people to be proactive, because I then rang my brokers and told them about it. And they said, hold on, Corey, why is your solicitors requesting for them to change your last name? You do know that if they do that, then we would have to resubmit the application because your last name is already correct. I said, hold on a minute, what do you mean? And then I contacted the lenders myself. All this while, it had always been the solicitor and the broker. I said, nah, forget this. What are my details? I'm going to do it myself. Contacted them myself. And then they informed me that, yes, they've actually received the fax from my solicitor asking for my last name to be, changed.
But it's correct.
I got so angry and I told them, no, hold off on that instruction. And then, of course, rang up it was just going around in circles. Literally. But the point is, you need to be involved. It doesn't matter if I was paying the broker to do the job. I was paying the solicitor, but they will make mistakes.
Yeah, they're human,
can make
so
mistakes.
They will make mistakes. So you can't just put all your trust in them and just say, okay, I can sit back now. You need to be on their cases.
Yeah, especially we had a deadline.
Each and every one of them. So eventually we were just like, you know what, this whole name situation needs to end. We gave our solicitor a strict instruction to just ignore it and do
proceed.
what we asked to him to do. Because at this point, we literally have days to finish off. So we were just like, sort it out. Like literally sort it out. And then, what happened from then? It was just a case where, they had to get because although they got their offer accepted, they needed a valuation of the property that they were going to move into. So that went through and we were ready to go. So we set it for the 18th to exchange. Yeah. And we did.
And close on the
21st of December.
The last day. Yes, I remember. I got the phone call and it all went through. And ladies and gentlemen, we are now the proud owners of
our second property. So yeah, it's just I don't know what to say. It's just crazy because today is literally the 27th of December.
Yeah.
I know you guys are going to be watching it in 2021, but it's the 27th of December.
Yeah.
And we literally told our family on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
I saw the house for the first time after all the previous viewings on Christmas Day, and we're literally we're literally packing right now.
Exactly. That's why I'm holding this, and I don't have it on a stand.
Yeah, that's why.
Because a lot of my equipment's already in the new house.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
we hope you've enjoyed this video,
thank you guys for watching.
You can forgive us for the long wait, but you can imagine throughout all the months, this is what we were sorting out, and I'm sure from what we've told you,
throughout all the year, literally the whole entire 2020,
yeah, pretty much the whole year. I'm sure from what we've told you, you can understand the pressure and
exactly. That's why we've not really been dishing out vlogs as much and stuff, because, like, of course, the funny thing about our vlogs is we don't make up stuff. Do you know where I'm coming from? Most of the, if not everything that we vlog about is our real life experience. And if this experience is taking us a long time, then there is a lot to learn all throughout this journey, and with time we will keep on sharing with you guys. So bear with us, of course, if it is that you're not seeing us so frequently, like, we got a lot going on, man. We've got a lot to sort out.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for watching, and honestly, if you found this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, make sure you comment and you share this video, because I'm sure it's going to help others out there. And until next time,
peace out, man.